Hello everyone, my name is Note and we'll be going over how to use SyncSketch for 2D animation. Now SyncSketch is a collaborative online visual platform where you can annotate different mediums. You can import in animation sequence or a 3D model and go over it as a team using it as a collaborative tool. But for our purposes, we'll be using it for 2D animation. And let's get started. I'm gonna log in with a Google account here. So this is gonna be a fresh page for you. It should look pretty similar to what you have. And you can go over and see how to use them for different medium. But for our purposes, we're gonna just create a new review. I'm gonna call this 2D animation. And we're gonna get started. Now there's nothing in here yet because we have to add media and there's a button right there. So click on add media, and if you have images or things you want to annotate, of course you can upload it in here, but I'm gonna just create a new whiteboard and enter the project. And this is a new and fresh canvas. You can draw on it. I'm just gonna start drawing a ball. So yeah, right away you can use a pen tool to draw. You can use this painting brush to paint. The controls, hotkeys are pretty intuitive. If you hover over them, you should be able to see. Some of them doesn't have it, but like down here, like you can see what hotkey these are. And Control Z and Control Shift Z should undo and redo for you if you need to use those. I'm just gonna go with the default brush for now. If you have a particular color you want to sample, you can import an image and use that color sample tool. If not, you can use default colors that they give you. And yeah, let's get started animating. So what do we do? There's a timeline down here. You can scrub along and then draw another frame. You don't see the frame before because there's no onion skin right now, but we can turn it on by clicking on here. This is a tiny little ghost icon right here. And click it. You can adjust how many frames before and after the frame you want to see. Click on, and now it's here. Arrow keys go back and forth between frames, so you can use that. And if you want to toggle the ghosting off and on, you can press G. The hotkey is right there, as you can see. So I'm just gonna draw a few frames of the ball. I'm pressing right arrow, draw another frame, right arrow, draw another frame. And yeah, if you want to preview it, press spacebar. It goes by pretty quickly. So that's the basic of the animation. And now it's pretty much a straight ahead drawing. What if I want to do a keyframe drawing? Well, you can skip to that frame. I want to do like an anticipation, and then maybe like a frame there, just like going to the left. But now it just skips. It skips to the other frame immediately. What do we do? There's this option here. It's called Held Drawings. If you click and turn it on, by default it's disabled. But if you do Add New Sketch, it basically holds the frame for you, and you can see the number, how many frames it's holding right there. And now you can see that they're holding the frame. And if you draw, since it's on Add New Sketch mode, you should be able to, I'm just gonna add this up a little bit so I can see. Well, 10 frames, so I can see more frames. So I'm just gonna draw an in-between frame there. I think that's too much. I'm gonna do 4. Oops. I cannot type today apparently. All right. So in between frame there, in between frame there. Now it splits up these frames, right? But say if I want to add like some details on it, if I draw it right now, it's going to make a new frame, which we don't want to do, or we might not want to do. So we change it to add current drawing, and you should be able to add like the details. Say if you want like smear frames or something like that, you can do that. And just you got to make sure that you turn it back on to Add New Sketch, because it might interfere you and you might not get the result you want. So make sure you know which mode you're currently using for that. So that's how you do frames that hold multiple frames. So let's see how the animation's going right now. Right now it's going a little too slow for my liking, and with keyframe animation you would want to move things around a lot. And you can do that by clicking Activate Drag Markers. And when you click that on, you can see these arrows there. So you can move them, squeeze them in, something like that, right? And then let's see. Yeah, now you retime that. And you can play around with it, make what timing you like with your animation. And say if you want longer frame count, you can go into, I believe it's there. I'm going to use my mouse. You can change the number of total frames. Change the background color even. So if you want to color pick from the background and you don't want to import an image for yourself to color pick from, you can just change the background color pick it, and then change it back or something like that. So it's pretty flexible. You can do a lot of things with that. So yeah, and you can turn this back off. Now you have a nice little animation right here. So how would you export it? There's a few ways to export this. You can download it and download sketches as zip. It will download as different frames. I haven't figured out a way to download it as like a collective, like MP4 or something like that. So by default, it will export each of these frames individually. So what you might have to go in is to copy, paste, 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 and split all of these frames into individual frames. Copy, paste. So they are all on ones, and you can basically export them as an image sequence and then import it into a software of choice to create an animation. So yeah, that's pretty much the basic of this. One cool thing that you can use with this platform is basically if you want to collaborate with other people and draw at the same time, you can actually share the project file. So you can click here, share review link, and I'm just gonna go with the external collaborator so I don't have to sign into another account. So I copy the link. Now the link is copied. I'm just gonna go into incognito mode, paste the link. Just gonna, I know who I am. So now I'm on the canvas now, and I don't even have to sign in. So you can work with other people this way. I'm just gonna double click on there. Pull the other one up. So you can see that it updates live on the other browser, and it works across different computers really well. But one problem is if you move around, right? The other one will also move. Well, it takes a little bit to update. But basically you both are on the same canvas, and if you draw, the other person will also have to be on this. And say if I scrub, it's gonna say that the other person is using the timeline and you can't override him or them. And that's the only problem we have with this platform, because not everyone can draw on their own. They all have to be on the same frame. But maybe you can use this platform to start animating something and then send it to another person, and that other person adds on to the animation and work asynchronously that way. Or you can both be on the same frame drawing different things, but you just have to coordinate properly in order to get the result you want. Otherwise, you might clash. But yeah, it's a platform, and this is something that you can play around with. You can create pretty decent animation out of it with the tools they have. And yeah, I'm excited to see what you guys can make, and have an awesome day.